Over the past few months, I have been trying to make a cosplay for the game Metro 2033, and this is what I've come up with so far. It's pretty good, got a lot of gear, it's all accurate for the most part. The only thing that needs to be changed are the guns, which I can do at some point. Aside from that, it's all really good. I pretty much went on an eBay spree and put a couple of things of my own in here. What's cool about my cosplay is that each and every item is relevant to the game in some way, or just relevant to the environment, just the ambience of the game. For example, this has a journal in it that I made from scratch. It's not the same as Artyom's, but it's kind of the same style as the tattered journal. And I've actually got the bullet writer to accompany that. And then there's also some stuff in this pouch right here, which I'll get into a little bit later. And then this belt over here, that has all sorts of stuff in pouches. And that is also pretty cool, as well as water canteen, throwing knives, and some regular knife that isn't sheathed in one of those. Yeah, so this is my cosplay. So this is my cosplay when it's entirely put on. Now the first thing I'd like to talk about are the clothes that I'd be wearing. You've got your ski pants. They're kind of like the rugged looking pants, kind of like you just took them off a dead body, trying to keep warm in the cold weather. You know, next thing you've got would be, Boardman had a leather jacket, and I kind of made my own version of that. So I've got a leather jacket, but first thing I'd be wearing is an undershirt, kind of like this. So got your basic undershirt that you'd probably see a Metro occupant wearing. The leather jacket, getting back to that, it looks kind of patched together, well, because it was. It's actually full of patched leather of different types. And I've even gone so far as to get the med kit, which I'll be talking more in depth about later. That's from the game. The only difference would be the color. I'll get more into that in a little while. I've also got a hood here, which would have probably this hat under here, which would help to seal the edges of the gas mask, which is right there. And my favorite part, or one of them anyways, would be the leather gloves, the knuckled leather gloves, and then you got the boots and the socks. Going a little bit more in depth into the med kit here. So this is the same as in Metro, word by word, letter by letter. Not that I understand it, but as far as I know, it is a Cold War issued medical kit, which was used constantly. The main difference is the color, which I think had to do with some sort of like civilian versus soldier versus medic, I don't even know. But the difference in the game was, in the game they used kind of like this morphine syringe kind of spiel, whereas if you actually open it up, it's full of pill bottles and things of that nature. So it's actually a little bit different, but yeah, it's got the Russian instructions and everything. So that would be the medical kit. I don't quite own night vision goggles, and this, in my opinion, is the next best thing. These are vintage, these are pretty old, and they work really well too, actually. Not that you could really take much out of that. They work. So, these are pretty cool. I didn't have a cord for it, so I just took some stuff that you would use to tie, say, straw together for like a garden. So that's why it's very kind of don't know the word for it, it's kind of just stringy looking. So that I just thought was a nice touch for the outfit, kind of just to look. I mean, I'm not trying to copy the specific member or any specific member of the game. I'm trying to kind of splice together all of the different characters, including the dead.
I just want to say on a side note that my cat really knows what to do in an apocalyptic situation. Isn't that right, cutie? Arr. Yeah, he'd do well in the metro. He'd get rid of those Mesallises right quick. That's right.
Now, I know that this is not the exact same mask that they use in the game, although some people in the game do wear something similar, so I thought this would fit. If you ever look at the dead bodies in the Metro 2033 game, there tend to be a lot of people wearing these masks. Along with that, I got a filter a long time ago, which is probably expired since I've used it quite a bit, so I went ahead and purchased 2 more, because when I'm at the expo, which I will talk about later, I'm pretty much going to be swapping these out as necessary because they will eventually expire and become hard to breathe through. I looked up online and I found out that the kind of watch Artyom uses is called a bevel watch, and it is very expensive now, so I got something similar. It is a Russian wristwatch that is mechanical. You have to wind it every day, and it's from the 60s. And the second hand is actually that little tiny yellow thing that's kind of slightly moving, if you can tell on the bottom there. So when I'm at the expo, I'll be kind of just going like that, check the time. Now this is a cool little piece that I picked up from kind of a convention called Animazement. And this is not actually Russian, but it definitely looks like it could be used in the Metro. And it's actually an ammo belt from World War I. And each of the pouches has relevant items in it. But I will say this, I went ahead and got a Soviet canteen, and then you've got a knife here, as well as some throwing knives here. So that's where you keep your throwing knives. I'm going to go more in depth on the pouches. Getting on to the pouches now. I originally made a video for this section about the pouches, but I got new things to put in here, so I'm going to talk about what I put in here. So the first thing you've got would be kind of a clock in case your watch dies. I thought that was a nifty little feature. Throw that in there. Yes, it works. Uses AA. The next one would be my favorite. In Metro 2033, military-grade ammunition doubles as your currency. So I went online on eBay and found stripper clips with semi-shiny military-grade rounds. So this is kind of like what you would pick up while you're in the Metro tunnel. You'd see these all over the place. And then put those to the side. You've got some more bullets in here, but the bulk of them are in here. And I've also got this cool little bottle of like a golden bullet. It's kind of cool. And then battery with some wires, kind of like probably for the Volt driver or something like that. In this one you've got sewing kit and batteries, wires, some extra supplies, and then in this last one you've got wires. So that is the pouches of the ammo belt, in addition to the Soviet